One man's rubber plantation became a genocide that killed millions, and nobody paid a cent in reparations. Between 1885 and 1908, the Congo Free State wasn't a country, it was a private business venture. King Leopold II of Belgium personally owned the entire territory, all 76 million acres, as his personal property. Not Belgium's, his. The distinction matters because it meant there were no laws, no oversight, and no accountability to anyone but himself. This is what happens when a monarch decides he wants to be a rubber baron. Exhibit 1: The price of rubber. In the 1880s, pneumatic tires were invented. Suddenly, rubber went from decorative novelty to industrial necessity. The global market price climbed. Leopold looked at the Congo's dense rainforests and saw a transaction: trees into wealth. Nobody in this story is stupid. He saw the profit margin and moved accordingly. Exhibit 2: The labor problem. The Congo had rubber, it didn't have a willing workforce. So Leopold's administrators created one through a system called the quota system. Each village was assigned a rubber collection quota. Fail to meet it and soldiers would burn your crops, seize your children, and execute your leaders. Compliance through terror. It was efficient. The math gets darker. To prove they weren't wasting ammunition, soldiers brought back severed hands as evidence of executions. Thousands of hands. Administrators photographed them, filed reports, and nobody in Brussels stopped it, because the rubber shipments kept arriving and the dividends kept flowing. Exhibit 3: The body count. Historians estimate between 1 and 10 million Congolese died under Leopold's rule from executions, starvation, disease, and forced labor. Some estimates run higher. The uncertainty itself is damning. We don't know the exact number because nobody was counting. The victims weren't recorded as people, they were inventory. Here's where the incentive structure gets interesting. Leopold didn't visit the Congo, not once. He stayed in Belgium collecting reports and rubber profits. His administrators on the ground had one job: maximize extraction. They were paid bonuses based on rubber tonnage, punishment for missing quotas, no nuance. The system was perfectly designed to produce brutality. By 1900, the Congo was producing 6,000 tons of rubber annually. Leopold's personal fortune ballooned. He used the money to build monuments, churches, museums, monuments to himself in Brussels. The irony was architectural: beauty financed by atrocity, separated by an ocean. International journalists eventually documented the horror. Morel, a shipping clerk turned activist, noticed something odd: rubber shipments left the Congo but no goods returned. The math didn't work unless the labor was coerced. He published exposés. Roger Casement, a British diplomat, traveled to the Congo and filed a report detailing mutilations and massacres. The publicity created pressure. By 1908, Leopold faced international condemnation. Rather than face prosecution, he did something legally clever. He sold the Congo Free State to Belgium. The Belgian government paid him 50 million francs, roughly 2 billion in today's money. He'd already extracted wealth. Now he extracted a payment for the privilege of leaving. Congo became a Belgian colony instead of Leopold's personal estate. Conditions improved marginally, but the damage was structural. The Congo had been stripped of capital, infrastructure, institutions, and millions of people. Belgium inherited a hollowed-out territory and spent the next 50 years treating it as an extraction zone, not an investment. When independence came in 1960, the Congo had almost no trained administrators, no independent judiciary, no functioning civil service. Belgium had built mines and plantations, not institutions. The country inherited a colonial economy designed for extraction, not development. The pattern repeated: foreign interests, weak governance, resource wealth, persistent poverty. Leopold II died in 1910, wealthy and lionized in Belgium. He never faced trial, no reparations were paid. The Congo's rubber wealth became Belgian wealth, which became European wealth. The extraction was complete. The incentive structure had worked perfectly for Leopold. The Congo story isn't unique, it's the template. A resource-rich region, weak institutions, foreign capital, and profit incentives that reward extraction over development. You see it in oil states, mineral-rich nations, and agricultural zones. The Congo didn't fail because it was poor, it became poor because it was profitable to make it so. Today, the Democratic Republic of Congo has vast mineral wealth: cobalt, copper, diamonds. It remains one of the world's poorest nations by per capita income. The rubber was replaced by minerals. The extraction continues. The institutions that might have captured that wealth for Congolese people were never built. Leopold II Congo Free State lasted 23 years. It generated immense wealth. It killed millions. It shaped a nation's trajectory for the next century. One man's greed, one commodity boom, one system of incentives, and a country's fate was written. That's not ancient history, that's the economic logic we're still living with. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe for more stories where incentives shaped nations, because understanding how the money moved is how you understand why the world looks like it does. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.